Got bored of life, needed some change of scenery to keep sane. Why not travel? Travel anywhere where I haven't gone before. No one wants to go with me? Not a problem, I'll go myself. Holy crap, am I really doing this? Am I really getting on this plane to go to a place where I know absolutely no one? Why am I doing this again? Oh yeah, I was bored. Welcome to a solo traveler's guide to Laos. This episode covers almost all of Laos, starting with Luang Namtha in the north, Luang Prabang, Vang Vang Vieng, Vientiane the capital, and ending with Don Dhet, a backpacker destination in the 4,000 islands in the south. For some background info, Laos is one of the poorest countries on earth, but more and more tourists are coming for the beautiful landscapes, friendly people, and to escape the overly commercialized tourism industry of Thailand. Welcome to a solo traveler's guide to Laos. My adventure started in Chiang Rai. From there, in northeastern Thailand, I got a bus to Hue Say, the border. And from there, instead of taking the conventional backpacking trek from Hue Say to Luang Prabang, I got a bus from there to Luang Namtha, which is very mountainous, more in the north. And right now in low season, almost no backpackers, so it really is a solo traveler's guide to Laos for now. Tomorrow I'll be doing some bike riding through the countryside, and then after that, the next day I'll be going to Luang Prabang and hopefully finding people to continue my adventure down south with. Thumbs up! Solo Traveler's Guide to Laos Day 2. So, got my bike, now I'm ready for breakfast, and then a tour around the countryside. In Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand rental bikes, you will see there's almost no gas in the tank, so you have to fill it up yourself. And then it doesn't matter what level of gas you bring back to the shop. There's no real point in coming from the Thai border to Luang Namtha except maybe for some trekking, where you go through the jungle and sleep in the local villages' huts. Trekking here is cheaper and more authentic than in Thailand because of the lower number of tourists passing through. I was lazy and rather bike around to see the countryside, but if I had to do it again, I would skip Luang Namtha and head straight to Luang Prabang using the 2-day slow boat from the border. But biking in the hills and passing through the local villages on either side was a unique experience that I would not trade for anything. My last night in Luang Namtha, spending it here in the dormitories of ethnic travel tour guides, and this is the room that I get for 20,000 kip, or basically $2.50, which isn't too bad if you think about it. Hours of screeching brakes on the windy hillside roads and northern Laos from Luang Namtha to Luang Prabang. Luang Prabang is a relatively big city for Laos, and worth it to spend 2-3 days in this town. I had booked Central Backpacker Hostel ahead of time and made immediate friends which I would have adventures with during my time in Luang Prabang.
I am Elizabeth, and I'm a solo traveling journey. Hello, my name is Denise, and I'm a solo traveler from Toronto.
Hi, my name is Tobias, I'm a solo traveler from Germany.
Huangxi Waterfalls is a must in Luang Prabang. With my group of friends from the hostel, we managed to haggle the tuk-tuk driver for 50,000 kip, or a little over $6 for transportation to and from the waterfalls, including the entrance ticket. If you are only 1 or 2 people, renting a motorbike is a fun alternative. Muang Sea Waterfalls has many levels, which you can stand under, swim, or climb trees to jump in the water, all while a few gara rufa, or doctor fish, bite at the dead skin on your feet and pick at any scabs you might have. The Lao government is socialist, and almost all drinking establishments close after 12 a.m. But after a few drinks in a relaxing bar called Utopia, many people take tuk-tuks waiting for them to go to a bowling alley, which is the only place that pays off the cops to stay open late and serve alcohol. This bowling alley creates a surreal experience for drinking and bowling. Bowling! Luang Prabang! Thumbs up! Bottle service for 30,000 kip. Bowling for 20,000 kip. That's how you have a night in Luang Prabang in Laos.
Documentaries, it's a video.
Yeah.
What we're saying, what do you want to know? What do you want to know about?
Someone hasn't paid.
Jesus Christ. What do you want to know?
What do you want to say?
I don't know. I don't want to know. You know about travelling, about Laos. Come. She farts a whole lot. Like crazy, like in the night, she non-stop farting. Ridiculous. And stink as well.
That's not true.
We're getting married. Hi, Mom. Bowl that shit, bowl it! Hey! Ooh. Say hello to the camera, where are you from? London!
Bowling in Luang Prabang with an international crowd and everyone. We're staying here, we're having fun, we have loads of alcohol and it's probably the best time I've ever had in my life here. Let's hit it.
Na zdrowie!
Eating so many and doing whatever I want, whenever I want.
I think traveling is maybe the best thing in the world. And you meet so many different people from so many different countries. You see so many different types of people with different personalities. I think everyone who's traveling is open-minded for it. And yeah, it's just nice. You see landscapes and you avoid a little bit the busy life from your hometown. So like a little escape.
Everyone's having fun.
The market in Luang Prabang is a great place to haggle for souvenirs like clothes and art, and a cheap place for delicious food. Laos is oddly enough known for its sandwiches. With the country being a French colony at one point, they make decent baguettes. In my time in Luang Prabang, I had a sandwich lady, who I always came back to, and for $2.50, I basically received a foot-long sub with chicken, bacon, cheese,
Egg,
avocado, lettuce,
sour
tomatoes,
cream.
and hot sauce.
So much sour cream.
And definitely tomatoes. Sandwiches, not market. Laos. It's a good idea to walk around this small town and take its charms for a few hours. It's also worth it to climb Pusi Hill right before sunset to see a few temples and Buddhas along the hike up, but also to see the gorgeous valley that Luang Prabang sits in, surrounded by a few hills and the mighty Mekong River. It's also worth it to wake up early in the morning before sunset to see the procession of the monks, or the alms ceremony. Monks are not allowed to buy food and only eat one meal a day, and every morning they cook this food from the generous townsfolk. It is a beautiful ceremony, but please keep your distance and turn off your flash for pictures as to not interfere with it.
My opinion of Luang Prabang is the food is medium, not the best food. The sandwiches are quite nice. Yeah, I like the town, it's an old quarter, and this hostel where we are is quite nice, the social area is good, the waterfalls are cool, so I really like the place. I would spend here like maybe 4 or 5 days and then carry on somewhere else.
My few days in Luang Prabang were up, and while everybody else was heading to the party capital of Laos known as Vang Vieng, I headed to Vang Vieng, a small provincial capital that had the famous plain of jars, which I decided would be worth my time. Getting around Laos is easy, with almost every hostel and guest house able to provide a bus ticket for you to the next town or country. The only spot left was a night bus which would reach Vang Vieng at 2 a.m.
Sleeper bus from Luang Prabang to Vang Vieng.
Getting off the bus with me was the only other tourist, Emmanuel, a French solo traveler. We decided to split a room in a guest house and see the plain of jars the next morning. After getting used to a semi-automatic motorbike, we had a pleasant ride, but with many wrong turns and asking for directions, we were finally there. Nobody knows exactly why the plain of jars were carved out by the creators. Whether for cremation or alcohol distillation is unknown. But just as we were curious about the jar, some of the locals from the capital were curious about us.
Good, it says.
They tried sneakily taking pictures of the white people when I invited them over so the whole family can take pictures with a real life
I think she's
white
in love.
person.
Stop by roadside town, business lunch, outside of Vang Vieng. Let's go.
A day and a night is more than enough for Vang Vieng, but if you're running low on time, you could skip it and not be missing much. Except maybe for the celebrity effect and having the time of your life drinking beer loud during karaoke with some office workers. It was time to head to the party capital of Laos known as Vang Vieng. This infamous town got its notoriety because of drunk tubing, where a bunch of backpackers drowned on the river while drinking because of a strong current and limited inhibitions with alcohol and maybe other drugs. Since then, the government shut down most of the bars on the river, but 2 or 3 still remain in low season. This town is still a haven for the party-going backpacker. In Vang Vieng, I met up again with my old friends from Luang Prabang, Tobias, Jenna, Tamwood, and Jono, and it was like meeting old friends that you haven't seen in forever.
Vang Vieng is fucking awesome! And you better use that in your fucking video, Alex.
During rainy season, the powerful Mekong River has an extremely strong undercurrent, so the chances of drunken backpackers drowning is even higher. So while tubing was closed, we could still use kayaks to get around from bar to bar.
It's literally a bar on the side of a river, built on a cement pad, in a cow field, surrounded by turds. It's a way of life. Every time you order a drink at one of these bars, during tubing or kayaking in this case, you get a little anklet or bracelet thing. Thumbs up.
Every night, people go out to the numerous bars around town, many of which have free mixers from 8 to 9 p.m., and almost all of them close at 12 p.m., and the party gets pushed to room 101. In addition to drinking in excess in Vang Vieng, you can get almost anything else you want in this town, including Happy Pizza.
lethargy of tourists watching friends all day after a hard night partying, and then the gluttony, drinking in excess and drugs that night. It's a life. Yeah, sure.
You want a photo?
Yeah.
Take photos anytime, man.
1, 2.
Hands up.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, il a tué.
Je te fais avoir, gros. Ah, tu sais,
Besides tubing, watching friends, and drinking, a visit to the Blue Lagoon might be worth the trip if it hasn't rained recently and the water is truly blue. Blue Lagoon. Not so blue when it rains. Two to 4 days is enough to experience the lethargy and gluttony that is Vang Vieng, but it's easy to get stuck here. I had already spent a week in Vang Vieng. Now it's time to leave. Next stop was Vientiane, the capital of Laos. Heading to a new place, you meet new people, and usually ask these people the same questions. Where are you from? How long are you traveling? Where have you been? And where are you going? In the capital, I met a fellow solo traveler who shared many of the same opinions.
Hi, my name's Seb and I'm a solo traveller from England. I get bored, but I gotta explain. I get bored of myself asking the question. When I'm speaking, where do you come from? I'm incredibly bored saying, but I am not in any way bored at the answer. It's because it's the same repetitive questions, but it leads to, most of the time, what I'm potentially really interesting answers.
The most you need in Vientiane is a full day and a full night. Half a day to walk around the city, see a few temples, see the Victory Arch. I guess it's a little bit like the Champs-Élysées in Paris, but here's the Vientiane version. And the other half day to visit Buddha Park, just outside of town. A park started by a mystic in the 1950s and 60s, containing dozens of ornate Buddhist and Hindu statues. Inside of a giant pot in Buddha Park, surrounded by Buddhas. Thumbs up. On the way back, we stopped at the Cope Center to see the devastating effect of bombing on Laos during the Vietnam War. Millions of unexploded cluster bombs left over still injure and kill hundreds of Lao people in the countryside. The Cope Center equips these people with prosthetic legs and arms and physical therapy to try and restore some normalcy to their lives. Sticky rice in Lao. Thumbs up. And of course, a night on holiday isn't complete without a trip to the local establishment.
I'm in his documentary. You will be, probably.
After a day and a night in the capital, it's time for my final destination, Don Dhet. Since Don Dhet is way in the south of Laos by the Cambodian border, I had to take a night bus, a smaller van, and then finally a ferry. If I was any taller, this would not be a comfortable ride. Don Dhet is the main backpacker destination on the 4,000 Islands, a delta of the Mekong River. Cheap guest houses for $5-6 a night and meals for $2 to $5. But bring all the cash with you since this island does not have any ATMs. On Don Dhet, I took a one-day kayaking adventure which included seeing dolphins on the Cambodian side of the Mekong, a lot of paddling, and a lot of waterfalls. During my last full day in Laos, I began thinking about what a few friends that I met along the way said about travel and life.
I've been traveling now for two and a half weeks, and now I can't say if it's changing me. I think after my trip, I realizing what I did, and then I say, yeah, of course, it will change me. Yeah. I think I will be a little bit more open-minded to everything. It's easier for me to go to people and speak to people because you have to be really social when you're traveling on my own.
Why do I travel? Well, there's two main reasons I think. That's to eat new food, new crazy food. And then second of all, probably just people in general, like meeting new people. You know, it's kind of, traveling's kind of made up of having these almost mini relationships. It's a weird environment, traveling, you know? It's like you get to know someone just within a day, and then you're talking about stuff that you wouldn't say to people at home if you'd known them for a month. Yeah, progression, it's so quick. Yeah, that's the main reason.
All in all, a little under 3 weeks in Laos from north to south was an incredible adventure with many new friends, warm-hearted Lao people, and a ton of stories to tell. But if you aren't in a rush, 10 days just might be enough time for you to get a good understanding of the country.
What a way to end my 3 weeks in Laos, besides on the 4,000 Islands, watching a sunset.
Next stop, Cambodia.
From here, from Don Dhet on the 4,000 Islands, I have a ferry to the mainland, and from there a bus to the border, and from there going to Siem Reap in Cambodia. And this has been a Solo Traveler's Guide to Laos. Thumbs up.